you should take the pan off the heat straight away before, you know, something bad happens. And it's happened before, so I know from experience that's what you should do. Now this is the definite type of butter you should be using for frying eggs, because it says they're best for baking, and it says a versatile spread perfect for pastry, baking and shallow frying. I am shallow frying, so this is good. Right, open it up. There you see the block of margarine. It is essentially margarine, but people call it butter as well. But butter's a different thing. It's similar, but it's not the same as margarine. This is margarine. Butter's what you spread onto. Butter's the thing that you spread onto toast. Right. Got a butter knife out my kitchen drawer. Out the kitchen drawer. Here's the butter knife. And watch very carefully. This is the amount of margarine you should use when making fried eggs. First, slice off this much to put into the pan to start with. To start with, you want to be putting in about this much. Now I'm going to put it into the pan. Just chuck it into the pan. Right, now get a wooden catering spoon out of the drawer. Something like this. Now, as you can see, the butter is rapidly melting because I've put the pan back onto the heat. Margarine, I should say, sorry. You can see it's sizzling up. Now what you have to do is you have to wait for the margarine to dissolve completely into the oil. Right, now that that's done, now it's... Right, I could smell burning there, so I took the frying pan off the heat. Now I'm going to put the... Now it's time to put the eggs in. Now I'm not that hungry, so I'm only going to put 3 eggs in. Because I've already gone out and ate at an Indian restaurant today. So, I'm not very hungry. So I'm just going to put 3 eggs in. Now, I can't do this and hold the camera at the same time, so I'm going to try and put the camera down somewhere where you can see me demonstrating how you put the eggs into the pan. Right, here's the egg. You get the egg and you carefully and precisely break it onto the edge of the pan to split the skin of the egg, the shell. Like so. Don't do that. That was a mistake. Make sure you don't do that. Then, as you just saw me do, once it's split, you grab the 2 bits that are split and you gently with your 2 thumbs pull it apart, and the yolk should fall into the pan. and then you get the shell and you put the shell into the bin. Now I'm going to go and put it in the bin. Once it's done, I put it back onto the heat. Now because of that little mistake I made, it's kind of gone wrong. It's not as good as it could have been, but doesn't matter. Right, and then as you put it back onto the heat, you are now frying the egg, and the yolk becomes more and more solid as it fries more and more, and then eventually it turns from yolk into egg. It becomes proper fried egg yolk. If it starts popping very violently, if it starts popping very violently like it was doing then, you take the pan off the heat, as otherwise you'll have like an explosion. Right, this egg's done. Now, because I've put so much oil into the pan, the egg hasn't stuck to the pan, so it's good. Now I'm gonna get my plate from this cupboard full of plates. Okay, right, there aren't any plates there, so I'm gonna get a plate off this drying rack. I'm gonna get a small one. Put it down there onto the kitchen side. Get the pan. Right, once again, put the camera somewhere, because I can't do this while holding the camera. Put the camera somewhere where you can see. Right, with the wooden spoon, take the egg carefully, scrape the egg with the wooden spoon off the surface of the pan, and with the spoon put the egg onto the plate that you're going to eat the egg off of. Like so. There's the first egg done and on the plate. Now I forgot to do something there. I said you put a certain amount of margarine into the pan to start with, before you put the first egg into the pan. But then after you put the first egg into the pan, you then put the second helping of margarine into the pan, so that but I forgot to do that. But what I'll do instead is now simply put the second helping of margarine into the pan with the second egg. So I'm going to get my second egg now and do exactly the same thing I did with the last egg, but try and do better this time. Well, I'll put the camera in the same place. Do exactly the same thing as you did last time to get the egg into the pan. Crack the shell of the egg onto the edge of the pan. Oh, I did better. Then, yep, get the two bits of the shell that are cracked. Get them with your two thumbs and then split it open with your two thumbs carefully. To put the yolk into the pan. Then put the shell into the bin. When you are cooking in the kitchen, try as best as you can not to actually touch the bin. If you do touch the bin, you should wash your hands with soap after.